Afternoon folks, got another cider review for you here. Today we're having a look at the Good George Brewing Blackberry Cider. So that's an apple cider with blackberry juice in it. It's a seasonal release for summer 2018, but here in currently autumn 2018 still available and still drinking well. Pick these up for about $13 on special, usual price near a $14 for one of these 946 milliliter squealers, as they call them. It's a fairly chunky resealable glass bottle, squealer across the top. Not quite sure where the name comes from, maybe on the website. Website for Good George, fairly busy and comprehensive. There's quite a lot going on. They brew quite a few different sorts of cider, 4 or 5 different types of cider, standard range of beers, and they run quite a few restaurants as well, based out of Hamilton. Generally pretty good mainstream cider, available in most of the supermarkets. Got this one at New World. It's available at Countdown as well. And they've won quite a few medals for their ciders, so looking forward to trying this. There's not a lot of information on the website actually about the brews. There's just a couple of lines about what it tastes, the ABV, and a bit of sort of blurb. You're not excuse me, you're not going to get a lot of info on the residual sugar or what they actually use to make it. What they do say is that there's fresh blackberries and apple juice in it. Some story about the brewers crawling through blackberry vines, but I sincerely have my doubts. They reckon the colours are Florentine red, smells of blackberries and sweetness on the nose, and tastes tart with a rich berry finish. Now there's a lot of extremely average fruit ciders around. I know that Rekorderlig's popular, but honestly it tastes like cider ruined with a whole lot of artificial flavours to me. They may well not be artificial, but it certainly doesn't do anything for me. And sweet, it's almost off the scale. So looking forward to trying this one here from Good George with hopefully a slightly more adult amount of sugar in it. So, as you'd expect from cider, you're not going to get much of a head, and I'd have to say that they're pretty right. Florentine red. I'd say that I guess with by the time you get blackberry juice, it's going to look a lot more like raspberry cordial than actually blackberry. But yeah, definitely red, and very little head at all, so fairly lightly carbonated, which is often a good thing in a cider. And indeed, that smells pretty much as they say. There's a strong berry smell on the nose, and there isn't that artificial cough syrup or cheap lolly smell that you so often get. Nice and clear, no cloudiness, just a little bit of condensation on the glass. So trying that, the immediate flavour you get is the berries. There are so many different berries around these days, your boysenberries, loganberries, blackberries. I'd challenge anyone to pick the flavours exactly, but that's definitely that blackberry boysenberry type flavour, nice and sharp. There's not too much sweetness there. It is sweet without the figure. I'd struggle to put a number on it, but that's not as sweet as possibly the mainstream ciders that you'd find in most New Zealand supermarkets. Most New Zealand ciders are fairly sweet. That's actually probably pretty true to what they say. The main taste is you get that tartness of the berries, which is really nice. It is slightly more expensive. Obviously, your 946 mils, you're not going to calculate it exactly, but at around $13 or $14 for just under a litre, that's quite a bit more expensive than a lot of the other fruit ciders, which you can get for often under $10 on special in a 1.25 litre PET bottle. Your Rekorderling's often $5 or $6 for a 500 ml, and honestly, if you like the Rekorderlig or any of the New Zealand equivalents, I really do suggest that you go and try this. It's just a far superior drink. No, they're not paying me to say this. I bought this with my own money, but it's not too sour. It's not if you don't like beer or the really dry English ciders, it's not like that at all. But it's just a far superior drink. There's no artificial aftertaste. It's just what you'd expect. If you like fermented apple juice, which is cider, and you like berries, then I struggle to see how you wouldn't like this. Highly recommended. I'd give it a 17 out of 20. I'd probably prefer it slightly tartar, so fermented out slightly more, or perhaps with a tartar apple. But overall, this is excellent, and I could easily drink this another time. And of course, with one of these squealers, you can always put the lid back on and save a bit for another day or to share with a friend. Okay, hope you're enjoying what you're drinking, and we'll catch you around for the next one. Cheers.